My gun spit, they gun spit. That's anyone I run with. This one clip that run this is good. How long you do it, you can't outlast this. Fuck the cops, I plead the fifth like I can't count past six. Say it's rare to see a little nigga boss in charge, but God will put me on them corners like the crossing guard. Niggas hate me. If you a hater, fucking nigga, own up. I'm tired of seeing me shine. I hate my own guts. Don't like the fact the balls get his cheese and leave town and do me like Chris Ball. She catch me on the rebound. If I'm down and deep down, the matic holding me down. Do we sound like NFO niggas? Can you see now? I drink liquor and I cheat grass. Might die from a bad liver, but never your weak ass. I see past dudes like I'm the tallest one in line. He said the world is mine. He'll get it all in time. Having trouble doing you, I'll show you how I do mine. Keep my money on my mind. This nigga faded, baby. Nine, I'm on my grind like our Achilles on. I'm on call and the celly's on. Grind like all the food and my belly's gone. What? Greasy, yeah. You ain't got to tell them how you do it when they already know you. There's only one moral to the story. My gun spit, they gun spit. That's anyone I run with. There's one clip that run this system. Oh, you niggas hungry, better go and hit the street. I make motherfuckers starve, make them sit and watch me eat. Fiends on the curb, helping. Till then, I'm on my third helping. Food on my shirt, belching. Bitches is fat line. Cake and dough is all a nigga after. My razor autograph, you bastards like your favorite actor. I'm a superstar. Bitch spit super bars. Bitch get that pussy beat. Dick get super hard. So my troopers do their part. Shoot your crib, shoot your car. Got them looking at me like, who the fuck put you in charge? Crazy. Commander. Ships is Mr. Matic. Had a cookie shaped like Batman. Since me and Mr. ran the city with them glamours. Since they ran up in the soundtrack with them cameras. I like my P's green, baby, and my O's hard. If I didn't go hard, it'd have been for my whole car. And I'm still playing with a full deck. That's respect. All my credentials don't guess. Motherfucker, go and check. Ask them niggas back in Philly where the fuck they get they. Ask them weed niggas in Aniston about they old connect. Ask them shooters who they used to come and get. When the drama pop, I make your single hot. Just hit record where your comments stop. Greasy.
Peace. You already know. I know we probably heard that song before about a homie, man. NFO Greasy, you already know. Listen. What's happening? All right, look. It's NFOMURK, the code breaker here, though. Answering the question, I got a comment, and it was, I'll put the question up. Ask about the laws that affects us, the system, ask about the laws that affect us, even if we are not necessarily following the law, I guess. Wait, I'm gonna read the question properly. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. All right. But there's a few things we need to understand once we bring certain things like law and certain things into the equation, right? That we're dealing with the all, right? Everything, we're dealing with everything. And now, amongst the everything, how do I want to say this? Because the law would represent, the Constitution is based off God-given rights. That's what I mean by the all, right? So the all represents human, all people, and that kind of goes into free, right? So that's the basis of it all, right? Then the Constitution, which is kind of there to impose a certain type of thing amongst people, the killers, people that would play against these rules. You see what I'm saying? So the Constitution is there to protect us from people that would harm us. You see what I'm saying? So that Constitution now is now being upheld by people. You see, the Constitution is not real, but the people upholding it will have to be real, right? So now that would represent some. Now the some is going to put the versus the all. You see what I'm saying? And then that would take place in court, and then that court will be governed by a king or a queen, so to speak, which will become now judges. You see? So now those laws would be bound by science, ethics. There's pretty much the two main things that hold laws into play. The ethics, right? That's where we get the freedom of speech, the freedom of travel, the freedom or the right to. right? All men are created equal. So that means that when we invented the gun, every man had the right to bear arms. So now they had to create laws in ways to deem you less than a man. Then they will train you to act accordingly, and then the law will catch you and brand you, and you will be missing those little essentials that it take essentially for you to be a complete man, recognized by the Constitution. The Constitution has rights, then it also has amendments. And those amendments is where a lot of little shadowy play and different wordage and different people benefited, and certain people did not benefit as a result from these things being devised, being imputed upon all to benefit some. You understand? So the natural laws, the God-given laws, they are the rights, right? And the Constitution upholds that, right? By man's law. By then, the sinister nature of the forefathers, the killer, he would now use the Constitution and input into it his corrupted system, right? Now the system represents death, right? Because it was systemized to play upon your ignorance. That's why in that same law they would tell you ignorance is not an excuse for the law. Why would they say that? Because they're constantly making new laws every day that you are unaware of. See, they make new laws every day, B. You know what I mean? And we unaware of it. So you can't say, damn, when the hell did y'all do this? Yesterday. You're going to jail today. That's the way the game goes, right? So ignorance is no excuse to the law. So so who carries that out would be the police. So now you, being a member of the all, will have to use intelligence when encountered with someone who's here to carry out said law, because you realize that any resistance towards the system, you would now see what the system truly represents. Right? This is why the system represents death. Do the police come with guns? Yes, they do. Do they come with shields? Yes, they do. Do they have walkie-talkies? Yes, they do. Because all men are created equally, but yet there's a certain amount of us that's a little faster than the others, but we can't outrun the radio. We can't outrun the helicopter. We can't outrun the system that's been devised to prey upon you and your individuality. That's why when there's a group going against the system, it starts off as like a gang, and then that goes into RICO and so forth. And that's only a system recognizing the system and saying, hold up now. And that's what the FBI essentially came about because of the black movement that was going on at the time. And they say, damn, if black people unite, this can be a problem towards the system in which we represent. So any form of unity on your side instantaneously is breaking the law. You understand? So now you have to understand the trickery and all of that and which is going on. It is being devised and incentivized that you would travel through this shit by yourself. At the end of the day, you're really gonna go out by yourself anyway. But to get any type of change amongst the society, you're gonna need other people who look like you to also move in a certain type of movement that mimics yours. So 9 out of 10, you're tuned into this channel because of the higher perspective that comes with it, right? I guess we would consider this the conscious community or the woke community, right? Now, what does that translate to, right? If anything else, it translates to you should know the proper time for you to transition. You should know what it should be your integrity coming into life, coming into fruition, coming into it all. And you should be constantly running your integrity through different scenarios so that you would know how to navigate and give the world your best of your integrity, and in the result that you have no way to go and you have nowhere to run, and anything you do will only lead to some form of more pain and unhappiness. Then you should be like, okay, this is the day that I'm prepared to not compromise anymore. You see what I'm saying? And that's usually times when the law tends to be pressed down upon the free person, right? The Philadelphia move, those were legal bombs. The Tulsa, Black Wall Street, those were legal bombs. The Rodney King beating, there were 2 that were found guilty, I believe, and 2 that were found innocent. That's what sparked the riot. Okay, those were legal clubbings that we witnessed on that Rodney King. That means out of the 4 people that was actually striking Rodney King, the other 2 were legally beating him. Right? You understand what I'm saying? The numerous amount of hands, the police, the hands that carry out the law, the numerous amount of times that those people killed the nameless and faceless amount of people that with no recoil, those were legal killings. Those are by the law. That's the same law that we're trying to play good and play nice with. Every revolutionary broke the law. There's no way to get change if you're going to go with what change is already laid down to be and who's it benefiting. On my karma video, I'm telling you about what law, what is the essence and the ethics of it. And the ethics is benefiting someone. And in round earth, flat earth, I'm telling you that the truth is created to benefit someone, not the facts. The facts don't benefit anyone. It is there as a universal thing for us to play with. But after that, we get a truth of it, and then the truth is just benefiting for me. And this is why you can meet someone who's trained and thinking that everything they're doing is right, especially when it comes to terminating you. All right? So, I hope that answered the question in its entirety. And yes, the laws do infringe upon you or do something to you when you're usually met with death, all right, or some type of opposing of freedom, all right, man. This is a real tricky question because I don't want to tell no one to break the law. I don't want to tell no one to die, but just know that any resistance towards the law, especially when you look a certain way, that resistance looks suicidal to anyone that's watching. You see what I'm saying? If the police came in here right now and called me a whole different name, I got a whole different image of somebody else that they think is me, and they're saying, Khalif, get on the ground, Khalif, and I'm like, I'm not Khalif. Anybody that's witnessing it is going to say, man, just get on the ground and let them figure it out some other point. But you not getting on the ground looks way more dangerous for your own self than them saying, oh shit, we got the wrong person. You see what I'm saying? This is why they don't never really apologize. Hence the Breonna Taylor thing. There's so many other people that they killed that's doing time innocently and then getting killed for that innocent crime. They even propose a philosophical question for these type of scenarios. This is what these type of people would think about. This is the philosophical question. I heard it with the Abdul Mumia Jamal case was going on. He's alleged cop killer. He's currently serving life, and they got all types of laws and stuff that's supposed to free him. And it got to the point where the first philosophical question, before I forget, was, does an innocent man deserve to spend the rest of his life in jail? That is the philosophical question. And most of us are probably saying no, because it sounds like he's innocent, so why would he deserve to spend the rest of his life in jail? But this is what they said. Yes, because he had a fair day in court. A fair day in court? How is that fair if he's innocent and in jail? And even though we posing the question, knowing every component of the question, they're giving you the solution to the question, assuming they don't know every like, even that's when you should try to correct your system so that an innocent man does not deserve to spend the rest of his life in jail, because if he was truly innocent, that means he would really have a true fear during court, and his innocence would prevail. But they know that they can phrase words that would shape people's minds and intentions, and it would now lead an innocent person to rot in jail. These are your laws at play. You know what I'm saying? So, it's so many tricks, so many illusions, so many things that come with it. And the less you know about yourself, the more codependent you are going to be on them. And they're only going to have streets and roads and hills that's going to lead right into your slaughter and their fattening. You understand what I'm saying? And your ignorance is like the liation, is like the thing between it. You gotta, that's the burden of waking up. That's the burden of tuning into this channel. That's the burden of meditating and going for the walk as you meditate. That is the burden of talking to your children, spending time with them. That is the essence of passing parenting and so forth that comes out of everything. It's so that you can know how to navigate in the face of these devils. They are all around us. They come through as lawmen, as healers, as entertainers, as whatever. And once they come, how they cloaked, you should be able to see that what they are and what they represent, and you should not partake or entertain or even talk to said unpleasant entity. With that said, make it short and sweet, man. Hope that makes sense. Hope everything's good. Hope everybody's blessed. And I might have to find another greasy song. But before I do that though, let me look up a few words that I thought was interesting. Right here. Cancel. I looked up the word law on Google. Alright, here we go. Then I looked up the word legal. So legal's right here first. I got the word legal here, right? Of based on or concerned with the law, right? Recognized by common or statutory law as distinct from equity, permitted by law. All right, now let's go to law or laws. All right, listen to this. The system of rule which a particular country or community recognize as regulating the actions of its members, of which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. A rule defining correct procedure of or behavior in a sport, the law of the game. All right. A statement of fact deduced from observation to the effect that the particular nature or scientific phenomenon always occurs in certain conditions are present. The second law of some type of word they got there, thermodynamics. Oh, that's a sentence. It's using in a sentence, like showing you how these laws come into play, which goes into the God's law, which are certain things that we cannot waver. Animals have it. The land has to have, so that because the land is given by the law, they have certain laws to govern the land. We just can't do what we want to do with the land, whether you know that or not. We can't do what we want with the animals because they're property of God. We can't do whatever we want to anybody else because they are also property of God, whether they have the mental capacity to defend themselves or not. This is what the children, women and children represent amongst the men, the strong who can hurt the woman or the child. So you have to have laws that set up and that could, protect and so forth like that. All right. So the phenomenon of life, which is the nature of the all, which is us, people at the highest point of it all, and we come up with a law, and the Constitution is given out, kind of like religion. This is like the lay of the land, all right? The community or a country, all right? This is it. And then the police, the hand, will enforce that. Who type of person can enforce a law against people that are capable of breaking a law? They would have to be almost of the same or even worse in nature. And then they will study and manipulate and cultivate a way which will be called a system, which equates to death. It does not lead to life. They did not find a way to use their system to keep George Floyd alive. They didn't find it. These are the same laws. See? So with that said, y'all, peace, love, power, and happiness to the people. Man, Murk signing out with a strong year though. 1.